Hello. Thank you very much for joining me today in this presentation on self-awareness and clear communication. It is very important to me to present this because I feel that the better we know ourselves, the better able we are to understand our needs and how to fulfill them. Our behavior becomes more purposeful, more clear, and more direct, and our interaction and communication with others more sincere. I feel it is very important, very, very important today. And if we have this understanding, we can share it with children to help that their journey be less anxious, that their choices be more certain, and that their relationships be more sincere. The child will then understand and embrace responsibility and ultimately be empowered. The philosophy that I'm going to share with you today is called choice theory, and the practice out of the philosophy, reality therapy. 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago, I was blessed to work with a group of dedicated Montessorians in a beautiful small school on the Pacific Northwest coast of British Columbia, Canada. The school was called Boundary Bay Montessori House. It's still going strong today with the same tenets. We decided as a team that we would study choice theory to the extent of becoming reality therapists. This knowledge gave us another approach to working with the children in conjunction with excellent Montessori practice. It resulted in a kind and compassionate and clear and orderly student body and staff. Because of the success with this, we eventually invited all of our families within the school to embrace the philosophy to the extent of studying a general course, introductory course, and those that were coming in to join our school, it became a mandatory requirement to become part of our Montessori family. Choice theory was developed by Dr. William Glasser. He was born in 1925 and he passed away in 2013. Dr. Glasser was an American board-certified psychiatrist who graduated out of UCLA in 1957. In 1962, he created reality psychiatry. Every time he was out to present about reality psychiatry, he found his followers to be counselors, educators, social workers, correctional institute workers. So he changed the name from reality psychiatry to reality therapy. In 1968, Dr. Glasser wrote Schools Without Failure and created the Quality Schools. He wrote also for the Quality School Teacher. He named choice theory and presented it as the universal system for empowering relationships, empowering individuals, and improving relationships. The heart of reality therapy and choice theory is learning how to make better and more effective choices and gain more control of your life. You will be familiar or the 6 conditions of quality schools are very familiar to Montessorians. The first condition is a warm and supportive environment. The second, students are asked only to do useful work. The third, we, the students, all of us, must do the best that we can do. The fourth, Evaluate your own work and improve on it. The fifth, quality work always feels good. And the sixth, quality work is never destructive. Through this work, we gained perspective on behavior, and we guided children in becoming more aware of the reasons for their behavior and their choices. With this understanding, our students acted with awareness, took responsibility for what they chose to do, and ultimately felt empowered. I have been using this understanding throughout my career as an educator, a therapist, and of course, a Montessorian. In this presentation, I will share with you 3 activities that you can do with your children to bring them to a clearer awareness of themselves. We will lightly touch on a final activity practiced more as therapy for those who are having difficulty finding direction. The participants in these activities can be anyone: adults, teachers, family members, clients, and students. Because we are working for the child, I will use the term student in relation to the participant. Okay. We're going to start with the first activity. It's called the basic needs circle. Choice theory is based on 5 needs. The 5 needs, according to Glasser, are survival, fun, power, love and belonging, and freedom. We use the hand as a mnemonic device because our survival wraps around and over the other 4, in that we cannot concentrate on the other 4 if we have not fulfilled our survival need. Come and have fun with me. The largest, the longest, the biggest finger, the power finger. Love and belonging, our ring finger. And finally, our small finger is our freedom finger. Okay, so our 5 basic needs. We're going to look at the basic needs circle as our first activity. You can see that we create the circle and divide it into 4 quadrants. There's a diamond shape in the center to divide each quadrant in 2 parts. Okay, and we'll start at the top with the love quadrant. We give these to the child and we say, okay, so let's look at the love and belonging quadrant. Think of things in your life that make you feel warm, that make you feel like you belong, that you feel that you're receiving love, warmth, understanding from. And write those things down here in this quadrant, the inside of the quadrant. Okay, sometimes you need to help the child. 99.9% of the time, you get mom, dad, friends, pets, sometimes pets. The outside of this inside diamond, we ask the child to add something that they think would help them to have more love and belonging in their lives. So something that they might add. My last student wrote he really wanted a husky dog. So he wrote that in something he would like to add. The second need is power. Okay, so here you're going to ask the child to write down in the diamond things that give them a feeling of strength, power, competence, confidence, capability. Things that they do that make them feel like they are respected in society. Our power in choice theory is different than a power over or a power to direct. This power is a power that comes from inside, an internal feeling of capability, confidence, and groundedness. So we introduce the child to those things and ask them to write down what it is that gives them power. On the outside of the line in the center of the quadrant, they write something that they would add to their life that they feel will give them greater power. My last student wrote, "If I could ice skate." Okay, the next quadrant is fun. Down here, we ask the child to write down activities in their lives that are great for them, things that they really enjoy to do, things that make them feel fantastic. Fun can be things like reading a book. Fun can be cooking. Fun can be working in the garden. Fun can be playing with your friends, swimming in the ocean. Okay, so within this quadrant, fun is things that we really enjoy to do. And the outside, again, what would you like to add to your day, to your life, that you think will make you better able to fulfill the fun quadrant, that need? Finally, our fourth quadrant is freedom. Freedom is things that we have in our heart and our mind that we would love to do, that one day we will accomplish. Freedom is the ability to have hopes and dreams. Freedom is setting goals for something that we will strive for. These are our freedoms. And within the quadrant, we can write some of them down. For example, my students always say, "I want to fly." Or the other day I got a new one, "I want to teleport." On the outside of this line, again, you write things that are farther along in the child's growth and development that they may feel is a hope or a dream. For example, "I want to own a yacht," or "I'm going to have a mansion," or "I'm going to have a wife with 4 children." It depends on who you're working with, of course. Remember again that survival is the first need that sits over top of all of these other 4. Now, when we're working with this, when we're working with the basic needs circle, we take note of language that the children is using, that the children are using. We take note of areas where they might not be able to put anything down in the inside quadrant. As educators, as caretakers, as adults overlooking the child, we need to be aware of when they are lacking in their fulfillment of needs. And then it is really our responsibility to help them to fulfill that. Also, what you can do with your basic needs circle is share in groups so that the children can see that there are other children that have the same ways of fulfilling their needs. We also share with the children that there are 5 needs and all of us have them. They are of varying degree for each of us because of our individuality. And some of us may lean more to certain needs than others. In fact, we all do. It's a beautiful activity because when executing it, the children will say, "Oh, you are similar to me, or, oh, you are different to me. I didn't know that. I'm really happy to understand you, and hence really happy to understand themselves. And I will share with you that every time when the children are filling out these forms, they are definite and certain in what they are using to fulfill those needs, and definite and certain in what each of those needs are. I have worked with this philosophy or this activity with children from the age of 5 years old all the way up into adolescence. The second activity I would like to share with you is, it's similar in a different format. This is the flower, the needs flower. It's a wonderful activity to do in art and then extend it as a work with choice philosophy. So what the children do here is we draw the circle of the flower and have them put their name in the middle of it. Own it, this is me. The petals of the flower are for empowerment. The stem goes down to the ground and then the soil crosses across the bottom. The leaves are spaces where they can write names of people in their lives, things in their lives, animals in their lives that bring them a fulfillment for the need of love and belonging. Below the soil, we have these lines. These lines are the roots, and the roots are for fun. The weeds above the soil line in the garden and the butterfly at the top corner are for freedom. Freedom to and freedom away from. Okay, so you have your student fill out this, draw this, and then fill it out after the explanation of each of the needs, which is the same as the explanation we used in the basic needs circle. The weeds are freedoms that we are coming from. The weeds are freedoms from, and the butterfly is freedoms to. Freedoms from help them to understand that there are things that we always say we're going to do, but never get around to doing. There are things activities that we have promised that we will take on, that we will complete, that we will accomplish, but it always stays in the background. So these are weeds in our garden, and we need to be aware of them so that we can get rid of them. Okay, we have to look here at where we use our energy. Okay, that meaning that it isn't really going anywhere for us when we hold it for such a long time, like weeds. The butterfly, of course, is freedom to, where we have hopes, we have dreams, we have wishes that we will eventually fulfill. Okay, I think you understand about the empowerment. In each petal, please put something in your lives that makes you feel strong, confident, competent, capable, powerful, empowered. And in the leaves, the things in our lives that make us feel warm, loved, important, hugged. The fun needs on the roots are, of course, things like swimming, playing, laughing, running. And when you go through this with the student, you can say, the activities that you do alone, please put an A beside. The activities that cost you very little money, and you can put a a cap on it, depending on where you are. Euro, €2, €3, dollars, $5, baht, 100 baht. Put the money symbol beside the one that costs you just a little bit of money. And then put an asterisk beside the need of fun, or the fulfillment of fun that you have done within the last 7 days. When you are analyzing this work as a therapist, or as an educator, as a teacher, as a Montessori guide, to help the child throughout their day, to help them in their own understanding, help them communicate with one another, you look here and you help them with language. If they have trouble finding language for this, maybe they don't have very much power in their lives. If they have trouble finding people and they put in imaginary people or pets, sometimes pets. I think the pets are great. So I wouldn't say pets, but sometimes we have to really consider who the child is putting in their leaves and make sure that they are getting the important fulfillment through nurturing that we need through love and belonging. Here again, be aware so that we can help them to not hold old baggage, things that they carry with them. They're too young to have baggage. Here, if it's alone, count and make sure there aren't too many that the child is doing alone. If there is money, just to be aware of budgeting and how easy it is to have fun without a lot of money. And then the asterisk, they put a cap on seven fun things per week is a good ratio within work and play. So there should be, ideally there would be 7. Okay, so this is the second activity, the flower, the choice flower. All right, we're going to talk about total behavior and how Glasser's theory helps us to understand the child's behavior, but more so helps the child to understand their own behavior. And we use the behavior car. Okay, we have a total behavior within our behavior car. And I left the title on here as control theory because initially Glasser called his choice theory control theory. Then he called it reality theory, and then he changed it to choice theory. So here is our behavior car. We have 4 components of our total behavior. Those components are actions and thoughts. The foundation for comprehensive psychology, physiology, and feelings. Okay, these 4 behaviors all work together like the wheels of a car to move the car. All right. The engine of the car are the basic needs that we are fulfilling. And those basic needs, again, are survival, love and belonging, power, fun, and freedom. The driver of the car is driving their wants to fulfill the needs of the basic engine, the basic needs of the car. The car, again, is our total behavior. How are we acting to fulfill our needs? Okay. We help the child to understand that the car that we drive is a two-wheel drive. All four wheels go at the same time. However, like a two-wheel drive, a normal road car, the front two tires lead the back two tires. The first tire is our actions, and the second tire in the front is our thinking. The back two tires, again, our physiology, the way our body talks to us, and our feelings. Okay? So what we do when working with the child in behavior car, we have them understand which behaviors we are able to control. So please, as a group, will you stand up? And everyone stands up, and then everyone sits down. Can you control your actions? Yes. So the behavior of actions we can control. All right. I would like everyone to think about snow. Everyone closes their eyes and they think about snow. Stop thinking about snow. Stop. Can you control your thinking? Yes. I would like everyone to please raise your body temperature. So everyone laughs and giggles and says, "Oh, I'm so hot, I'm so hot." Can you raise your body temperature? No, not directly. I will ask everyone, please feel sad. Can you feel sad? No. So can we control our feelings directly? No. So then we share with the child, well, when you act in a way that makes you feel a certain way, your body talk and your feelings will follow. When you think a certain way that is positive or negative, our body talk, physiology, and our feelings will follow. Some examples might be, let's say I didn't do my homework, and so that's my act. I think I'm going to be in big trouble. That's my thoughts. So I'm acting and thinking based on my own control, directly controlling this. Now, because I didn't do my homework and I think I'm going to be in big trouble, my heart is palpitating and I'm sweating and I can't sleep. Okay? And how do I feel? I'm terrified. I'm really scared that I'm going to get in trouble the next day. You do activities like this with the child to help them understand, and we do this over and over again until they can say by themselves that if I act this way and think this way, my body will feel like this, and my mind and my heart will feel like this. The behavior card. On this sheet, you can ask them to choose 4, 5 pretend or real situations that they can think of where their actions and their thinking affect their physiology and their feelings. This is an amazing activity to help children become more aware of their actions, the choices that they make, what they are doing, and take control. It's no fail. It may take time, each child is different, but it's a wonderful thing because at the end, I've had experiences where children come to me and say, I don't have any more confusion. I don't want to come anymore. Or, I'm okay, I know what I'm doing now, and I can see it, and then I can watch them go on and understand their path. The a very important axiom according to choice theory is the only behavior that I can control is my own. The fourth activity I would like to share with you is self-evaluation. And this, as I said before, goes a little bit more into therapy. In therapy, we have something that Dr. Glasser termed WDHP radio station. And so when we are helping the child find their road, become more in control, take charge, we work through the self-evaluation where they can say from radio station WDHP, what do I want? W, what do I want? D, doing. What am I doing to get what I want? H, is my behavior helping or hindering? Am I getting what I want? And P, I need a plan that will help me to get what I want. WDHP. And we go further into this when we work with the children in being aware of what they are creating and what they're working with, and how to be the master of their own destiny. This language has become my own, and over my career, I speak this language to the children while I am doing my Montessori practice. And the children, my children, they are completely competent, capable, and secure. They love it and they respond to it. These 4 activities are seeds for the amazing garden of choice theory. I have testimony of many children that have used this, that have worked through this to help them create order for themselves, understand themselves and others, and improve on their relationships. Thank you very much for coming to my presentation. I'm very happy to share that with you. I will be presenting live on Saturday evening at 7:30. My next presentation is a follow-up on this introduction. So if you are interested here, I invite you to come and be with me again on Saturday evening live. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat there. I would be honored to answer and share with you more. Thank you very much for coming.